Alright, this house will come to order. I am pleased to welcome all of you to the first discussion platform inter-house competition organized by Debate Society of KYS Business School. The resolution before us today is this house belief that higher education should always come first. Representing the sports player is House of Pantera. Before we go further, I would like all the speakers to briefly introduce themselves to the members of the floor.
Hello, my name is Reza, Akmal Reza, and we'll do the best for tonight.
So, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. My name is Muhammad Lukman Hakim bin Aswad, and I'm super excited to continue this discussion.
Hi everyone, my name is Hanis Nurina, and I can assure you that this discussion is going to be a great one.
Hello, I'm Sajida binti Judin, and go Earth!
I thank all the speakers for their remarks. On the behalf of the House, I extend a special welcome to our judges, Ms. Nurani binti Muhammad Sani, the advisor of Debate Society of KYS Business School, Mr. Muhammad Azwa bin Abdullah, panelist of Forum Merdeka organized by Perkemat, and Forum Intellectual organized by IKROP, and for the final judges, Mr. Muhammad Ashraf Haikal, a former debater of MRSM Merbuk and currently pursuing his study in Russia. I, Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Mustafa, and my partner, Atikur Rahman bin Rosli, will be your moderators tonight. And to keep the time will be the ever-alert timekeeper, Alia Batrisha binti Abu Bakar As-Siddiq. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the House, before we dive further into the substantive speeches, allow me to brief everyone present on the rules and guidelines on the course of the discussion. There will be two sessions for the speakers. The first one is the discussion session. In this session, speakers will be given 10 minutes to discuss about the issue. The second one is the Q&A session. In this session, speakers will be given a question from the moderators. They have 1 minute preparation time to discuss among the speakers and 3 minutes to answer the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I call this House to order. To present the case in today's motion, this House believes that higher education should always come first. I call upon the representative of sports player to open the case. The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
Okay. Hey,
Hi, hello.
how are you doing?
Like usual lah. Feeling good, like I should.
Went and took a walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed.
Got the sunshine on my Sunday best.
Huh? What are you guys even doing?
I locked.
Hi.
Sorry everyone, I just came back from the mosque. It has been a very tiring day.
Same here, a day full of back-to-back classes. But normal, all right? College.
Really? I didn't have any class today.
Whatever.
I'm so sorry, guys. I need to grab a glass of water. Today's training was very tiring. I don't even know what the coach was thinking. He's like having no brain. I don't think he's breathing. We can't even have a 5-minute breaks.
What a pity result. But at least we are doing something that they're not passionate about.
I can't agree with that.
Oh yeah, wait, weren't the UPU results released today?
Oh, I saw it on Twitter. Everyone showed screenshots of their results.
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, how did you do, Reza?
I got my first choice for the course that I want, but the problem right now is I'm in the state of dilemma. I don't know if I should pursue my study to the higher level or to just focus on my sport since I'm currently playing for the rugby team.
Oh, seriously? Why will you? I will also be so confused to choose either one.
That's why. Do you all have any ideas with paths I choose?
Cut! Hi Earthlings, our motion for today is this house believes that higher education should always come first from the view of a sports person.
The term higher education that we'll be talking about is tertiary education, whether it's diploma, degree, or even certificates qualification.
The sports person terms in our discussion context mean a person who has been participating actively in sports and going to make sports as their career.
And the phrase of should always come first, it means that we should.
Sorry, Mike.
Oops. So, I repeat. So, and the phrase of should always come first, it means that we should prioritize higher education, no matter what the situation. So, throughout our discussion tonight, we will point out whether higher education should be prioritized or not by the sport persons in the first place.
So stay tuned to witness the discussion that we had come out to know the conclusion about this motion.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and action.
That's why. Do you all have any ideas which part should I choose?
Personally, Reza, I think you should go for both sports and higher education.
To go for both sports and higher education? What do you think so?
Yeah, why? Wouldn't that just be a burden for Reza?
Yeah, I'm with Sadida. It will be very hard for Reza.
You know, just as a backup plan if things go wrong, like injuries. As a sport player, risk of getting injured is very high.
That's true. Absolutely correct. No doubt at all.
Oh, yeah. Especially since injuries can really affect an athlete's career badly.
And also, I've read about David Pollack, a footballer whose career was ruined after an injury. At just 24 years old, his career was over. But luckily, he could find another career since he prioritizes his studies for fully committing to football.
And you know, it wasn't just about injury, guys. As we all know, normally, sports players cannot sustain their performance as they get older, so they will decide to retire. If you do not have a backup plan, Reza, what are you going to do?
Oh yeah, I've never thought that far. I just realized why we cannot ignore our education as it cannot be taken away. But wouldn't it distract my performance on sports career? Because right now I need to train at least 3 times a week at least.
Retweet. Since you're still in your prime age, right, Reza, you must have a lot of energy. Focusing on just sports will make you a better athlete overall and boost your performance on the field, as you have no distractions.
Yeah, even for me, who's not an active player, it's already hard to cope with my studies. Maybe you should just focus 100% on your rugby training and tournaments. It's not the education that will help you in your sports career, it's your skill.
Yeah, since you, Reza, is more interested in rugby than studies anyway, there is simply no point for you to have higher education if you are not interested to work for jobs that require a good academic background. With no interest in your job, at the end of the day, your happiness, self-contentment, motivation, and productivity will all be affected.
Wait. I don't think so. Because guess what? It's proven that student athletes generally perform better than non-student athletes. They are trained to have better discipline and can handle their stress well.
What do you mean they are trained to have better discipline?
I mean, since they have to prioritize both studies and sports, they learn how to have a good time management and balancing their stress in order to excel in both.
Oh, all right, that's right. But actually, from the first person point of view, I'm aware of the risk that I have to face.
What do you mean when you say about the risk?
When I'm fully focusing on sports, actually my job opportunity will be narrowed down as vacancies offered in sports sector are limited. It will be more difficult for me if my performance is not good as the other athletes. In the worst case scenario, there's like so little thing that I can do if I can't secure a place in the team.
Wait, one more. Is it really hard to be a professional athlete?
Absolutely, it's really hard. If I'm not mistaken, the chances are less than 5% for an athlete to be really good and excel in their career, like Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James, Marquez, etc.
Seriously? For real? I thought it was as easy as ABC to become a pro like them. Like, you know?
Nope, it's obviously not, especially in Malaysia. Our sports culture is not as strong as the other country. For example, let's talk about the football scenario. European countries are really well known with their football competition. UEFA Champions League is one of them. Maybe for them, for the European footballer, it's better for them to just focus on sports since they can fully maximize the opportunity.
Furthermore, our government now focuses more on training young minds for specific jobs that are inclined towards the country's development. So I think the focus on the improvement of sports sectors would decrease.
Yep, especially seeing how competitive it is to be a major player in the global economic market. Job vacancies for sports will also decline.
So, the advantages of having a higher education weighing out the advantage of not having higher education, I feel like it's better for Reza to further his studies. What do you personally think is best for you, Reza?
After hearing all your points, I can conclude that instead of just two separate options that I had before, either to fully focus on sport or to fully focus on higher education, now I have another option, which is to go for both sports and higher education at the same time.
Yeah. But if you choose to really commit to sports, you must make sure that you really understand your pathway. You have so much potential too, so it will not be a very good option to waste such a good talent.
All right, I've made up my mind. I'll be going for both sport and higher education at the same time because both are important for me. Thank you, everyone. You all have been very helpful for me tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to have helped.
Don't mention it.
I wish you a very good luck in the future, Reza.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Reza.
All right, so we have made up my mind to disagree with the motion. We go for both need to go first. And done.
Done.
We will proceed with the next session, which is question. So the question is, people believe that sport players who have higher education perform much better than those who don't. State your opinion, whether you agree or disagree, and explain why. I repeat, people believe that sport players who have higher education perform much better than those who don't. State your opinion, whether you agree or disagree, and give the reason why. You may start now.
Okay. So we believe that that student athletes generally perform better than non-student athletes. This is because we've done research and it is proven that generally student athletes perform better than non-student athletes. We believe this also because student athletes will learn in classes the time to the best time amount of time to work out, exercise and all. So then they don't exceed and do too much or do too little. As the phrase says, moderation is key. They also learn the balanced diets, the medication we should take, and etc. to perform better and to have a good performance. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of session 2. I'll pass to Eva.
I thank the representative of Earth to conclude this discussion. We have now come to the end of discussion platform interhouse competition of KYS Business School. On behalf of the house, I thank the judges and the timekeeper for their assistance. I congratulate all the speakers on their best performance, and I thank the members of the floor for their attentiveness. All members of Earth are allowed to leave the meeting. Thank you.
This house will come to order. I am pleased to welcome all of you to the first discussion platform inter-house competition organized by the Debate Society of KYS Business School. The resolution before us today is this house belief that higher education should always come first. Representing the disabled people is House of Pegasus. Before we go further, I would like all the speakers to briefly introduce themselves to the members of the floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zakwan bin Roslan. That's it.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zafira Adlina and I am pleased to be here today.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Sharifah Fahana and good luck everyone.
Hello, my name is Sidi Iqbal and I wish all the best for House Win. That's all.
I thank all the speakers for their remarks. On behalf of the House, I extend a special welcome to our judges, Ms. Nur Ani binti Muhammad Sani, the advisor of the Debate Society of KYS Business School, Mr. Muhammad Azwa bin Abdullah, panelist of Forum Merdeka organized by Perkemat, and Forum Intellectual organized by IKROC, and for the final judges, Mr. Muhammad Ashraf Haikal, a former debater of MRSM Merbuk and currently pursuing his study in Russia. I, Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Mustafa, and my partner Atikur Rahman bin Rosli will be your moderators tonight. And to keep the time will be the ever-alert timekeeper, Alia Batrisha binti Abu Bakar As-Siddiq. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the House, before we dive further into the substantive speeches, allow me to brief everyone present on the rules and guidelines on the course of the discussion. There will be two sessions for the speakers. The first one is the discussion session. In this session, speakers will be given 10 minutes to discuss about the issue. The second one is the Q&A session. In this session, speakers will be given a question from the moderators. They have 1 minute preparation time to discuss among the speakers and 3 minutes to answer the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I call this House to order. To present the case in today's motion, this House believes that higher education should always come first. I call upon the representative of disabled people to open the case. The floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum. For the House Wind, we will be representing for disabled person for the motion. This House believes that higher education should come first. For the definition of higher education, we define education as education that we attain after high school that is not necessary and is a choice. The function of this education is to equip disabled people for jobs and in their daily life for the future. For disabled person, we define it as person who has physical or mental impairment that can be both innate or developed later on in life. Based on Department of Social Welfare Malaysia, the percentage of disabilities of disabled people in Malaysia for learning disability is 35%, for physical disability is 34%, sensory impaired 17%, mentally 8%, speech 1%, and others 5%. For me, I completely support this motion that higher education should come first for disabled person. What do you think, Zafira?
Thank you, Fahana. I agree with the motion today solely for the reason that giving disabled people higher education would create better opportunities for them, especially in securing job opportunities in the future. This is also important to help train them towards semi-independency. Why semi-independency and not independency as a whole, you may ask? It is because today we acknowledge that disabled people needs help in certain area of their life, but we believe that if there's one thing they could be independent in, it will be financially. Therefore, today we would like people to stop thinking that disabled people could not contribute at all into the building of a nation. This is a reflection of the statistics shown by United Nations, in which they showed that in industrialized and developing countries like Malaysia ourselves, 50% to 70% of our disabled people are unemployed. Seeing this from an economist perspective, we could see that this is actually a wastage of resources. Therefore, we should give our disabled people higher education so that they could become a competent worker in the labor force. And back to you, Fahana. Sorry, back to you, Zakwan.
Yes, I do agree that they do have to have a secure job and also more opportunities in life. But do bear in mind, they need the right skills and also relevant skills in a job market. So this is what we have to look for. In order to cater for the disabled people, it is not something that can be done out of the blue. So I do not agree with this motion. Firstly, people have to take multi-sectoral approach in order to take care of these people. And that is very, very costly. Now, take a look at these figures. Around 15% of disabled people nationwide has attained higher education. But between this 15%, only 24% graduated. And this is a very, very little figure. Why do they fail, if you ask me? A few research has been done, and one of the reasons is inaccessible building. Another is inaccessible teaching and also lack of support program. Let me give you an example. They do need to have a braille textbook and wheelchair, and some need small classes where they have to be grouped in their own disability. And this needs money. If you want to have a textbook, you have to have money. So that's it. So for me, it is not wholly true that they should have a higher education, and thus the money should be used in order to help those people that really can learn. So that is my opinion.
I do agree that it gets really costly to give higher education to disabled people. However, I think that the advantage of higher education for disabled people I think that one of the advantage of higher education for disabled people is that they can get equal treatment from the people around them. It is a known fact that they go through discrimination in their daily life because the society has a perception that they are useless and they cannot give economic benefits to the country. That is why I think education is important, because it can help to integrate these disabled people into the society. How, you may ask, is by getting a job, which requires the minimum requirement of higher education in order for them to get a job. When they get a job, they can help contribute to the nation, and that can eradicate the perception of the society that they are useless.
I agree with you.
I agree with you, Faharana, as I cannot identify any drawbacks in your point said earlier. It is an undeniable fact that disabled people also have the same potential in terms of capability to contribute towards the society. At the end of the day, we are all the same, but what differentiates us is our determination and dedication in life. However, these special people often underestimated in terms of their abilities. So, in order to overcome the society perception, their abilities should be equal or slightly less than those who are able to do the job, and that they should be able to work comfortably in an environment with a mixture of able and disabled people. Therefore, highly trained and qualified disabled trainers are needed to improve their qualities despite their disabilities. For example, people who are specially trained in Malaysian Sign Language able to help them efficiently with living skills and managing their disabilities. Don't you think it will be costly? I think this is an obstacle that we need to take note of. What do you think, Zafira?
I believe that there are always two sides of the same coin. Therefore, the points brought up by Zakwan and CD is a point worth noting, in which it highlights the main obstacle we face in providing disabled people with quality and holistic education system. Therefore, Fahana and I have decided that one way to resolve this problem is firstly to impose a tax on working disabled people so that so that we could fund, so that we would impose tax on working disabled people who benefited from the system, so that they could help fund more of them to actually participate in higher education and get the competent skills that they needed so that they could stay relevant in the job market. But before imposing tax on them, we should make sure that we help them in securing a job so that they could generate sustainable income. In order to do this, we could offer firms tax reduction the more they hire disabled people. This, in turn, would create a win-win situation for the employer, for the disabled people, and also for the government, so no parties are burdened. Therefore, I believe that the main obstacle of it being costly could be solved easily.
If that's so, I think we will close our discussion as there are nothing left to argue with. Both of us, Zakwan and I, will give our utmost support to this stance.
Therefore, in conclusion, today, the House stand with the motion that higher education should come first for disabled people, solely for the reason that it creates better job opportunities. Solely that they provide more opportunities in life for disabled people, as well as give them equality on treatment from the society. Thank you.
Okay, we have come to the question and answer session. The question is, Ministry of Education never neglect the needs of disabled people in education. Special schools, facilities, and many more are being improved to provide them the best experience of learning environment. Research shows that almost 90% disabled persons don't have higher education, however. Give your opinion about this. I repeat, Ministry of Education never neglect the needs of disabled people in education. Special schools, facilities, and many more are being improved to provide them with the best experience of learning environment. Research shows that almost 90% disabled persons don't have higher education, however. Give your opinion about this. You may start now.
Okay, so today the House does not deny that yes, government has provided adequate facilities in facilitating and assisting disabled people in education. However, what we're striving for today is that the higher education equips them for their job opportunities in the future. What we're questioning today is that the facilities and the curriculum set by the government for disabled people today is no longer relevant for disabled people to be competent in the job market. So what we want today is that this higher education system that we're talking about will holistically shape our disabled people so that they could adapt, one, and secondly, they could work comfortably in an environment where it's a mixture of both able and disabled people. This leads to our point, which brings them to independency. Because what's the whole point of education if not to apply it in real life? So what we're trying to say today that we're not denying that yes, the government has provided good facilities, but the government should recheck the relevancy of what they're teaching, the relevancy of what they're teaching the disabled people so that they could be independent in the future rather than leaving the education to redundancy.
So that's all for question and answer session.
I thank the representative of WIN to conclude the discussion. We have now come to the end of discussion platform inter-house competition of KYS Business School. On behalf of the House, I thank the judges and the timekeeper for their assistance. I congratulate all the speakers on their very amazing performance, and I thank all the members of the floor who joined here tonight. All members are allowed to leave the meeting. Thank you and have a great night.
This House will come to order. I am pleased to welcome all of you to the first discussion platform inter-house competition organized by the Debate Society of KYS Business School. The resolution before us today is this House belief that higher education should always come first. Representing the indigent people is House of Phoenix. Before we go further, I would like all the speakers to briefly introduce themselves to the member of the floor.
Hello everyone and judges. My name is Amiafi bin Ahmad Sukri and I am very excited. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Afiq from Housefire. I am the speaker and I'm happy to join this platform.
Hi, my name is Mariam and I'm happy to be a part of tonight's discussion.
I thank all the speakers. I thank all the speakers for their remarks. On behalf of the House, I extend a special welcome to our judges, Ms. Nur Anim binti Muhammad Sani, the advisor of the Debate Society of KYS Business School, Mr. Muhammad Azwa bin Abdullah, panelist of Forum Merdeka organized by Perkemat, and Forum Intellectual organized by IKRO, and for the final judge, Mr. Muhammad Ashraf Haikal, a former debater of MRSM Merbok and currently pursuing his studies in Russia. I, Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Mustafa, and my partner Atikur Rahman bin Rosli and Afif Lutfi bin Mat Asroy will be your moderators tonight. And to keep the time, will be the ever-alert timekeeper, Alia Batrisha binti Abu Bakar As-Siddiq. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the House, before we dive further into the substantive speeches, allow me to brief everyone present on the rules and guidelines on the course of the discussion. There will be 2 sessions for the speakers. The first one is the discussion session. In this session, speakers will be given 10 minutes to discuss about the issue. The second one is the Q&A session. In this session, speakers will be given a question from the moderators. They have 1 minute preparation time to discuss among the speakers and 3 minutes to answer the question. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I call this House to order. To present the case in today's motion, this House believes that higher education should always come first. I call upon the representative of indigent people to open the case. The floor is yours. I'm sorry everyone, but basically we have a technical problem. So basically we will start again the discussion. Please continue. The floor is yours.
Hello everyone and hello judges. So the motion higher education should always comes first. Does anyone knows exactly what higher education in this motion refers to?
So for tonight's discussion, we have decided to set the scope for higher education to be education at universities or similar educational establishment, especially to a degree level.
And what about indigent people?
I know a little bit about indigent people. So basically, they are poor and they lack basic resources of normal life. Plus, minority of them lack not only in money, but they lack homes too.
All right, now we understand indigent people and also higher education in this motion. But I don't think I agree with this motion because, well, I try to imagine myself being one of them, poor people, maybe a poor fisherman. I only have a small business selling fish, for example. Well, I am unfortunate enough just to feed my family and just to keep my business going with the limited amount of money. So why would I need to spend a lot of money and also devote years of my life just to get a degree certificate? And plus, I already have the skills and the knowledge to keep my business going, and maybe my business is potential to grow even further in the future. So why would I get a degree certificate? Maybe, well, do I need a qualification for catching a fish? I don't think so. So what do you guys think about higher education benefits us, indigent people?
Well, yes, it is true. The idea of indigent people should prioritize work instead of studying in higher education is relevant at first glance. However, they will gain better qualifications and skills from higher education. Thus, they can use these qualifications and skills to earn higher income to help their life financially.
Alif, may I know how does developing qualification and skills could help to improve your life financially?
Good curiosity. First and foremost, higher education provide knowledge to them through degree program. They will learn both technical and practical skills that can be used in real workspace. Plus, after they graduate, they will receive a bachelor in particular field. Currently, this degree is the top requirement to get professional career that will give work salary. For instance, the salary of fresh graduate is around 2,000 ringgit, which is enough for them to survive compared to if they work in village. Moreover, they can improve their soft skills like interpersonal and communication skills because when they are in the university and college, they will do the assessment with the other students. So from here, they will learn how to work and negotiate with the others. So they can use these skills to run a business. But before that, how do they get the money to run the business? Like I have said, if they work in the professional career, they will have salary, which is they can make the saving from their salary. And after they have enough budget to run the business, they can use the budget and their skills.
Request bus.
Sorry, hello. May I continue? Okay. So moreover, they can use these abilities to deal with the customers and promote the business. So using their qualification, their knowledge in promoting and dealing with people, they can grow their business. So from here, they can recruit the villagers. So not only they can generate money, but they can contribute to the villagers and they can give the villagers more benefit in economic.
All right. Wow, that's the solid point. But still, even if I am lucky enough to get a degree certificate, how about rest of those poor people that are not lucky as me to further their studies? Like, look at the slums in India. They are very large and also they are everywhere. Even though India has among the biggest amount of graduates in their country. So what do you guys think that attending higher education could help poor people as a whole community, but not as an individual? So
Yes, it is true. As you can see, many rural areas are still lacking of basic necessities like electricity and water because the governments are too focused on the modernization of the urban areas that they overlook the people who really need their attention.
So her point is she's countering my question, which is regarding equality. And then why higher education could help these poor people in tighten the gap between poor people and rich people in terms of equality, which is equality helps to broaden the mind of these poor people in realizing that the world that they live in is unfair, and also they need to do something to repair the system, the overall system, which is the unfairness in the system of a country. So looking an example such as in America, for example, which is the black people, they have been mistreated and treated unfairly in every system in their country, like in education system, in economic system, like we can see in America. So what higher education could help is when a lot of black people going to maybe Ivy League, so it will open their mind even more to help so that these black people could help another black people to achieve what they have been fighting for all this while, which is equality for all. So that is the reason why attending higher education should help poor people in achieving equality.
Okay, so as all of you can see that many rural areas in our country are still lacking of basic necessities like electricity and water, because the governments are too focused on the modernization of the urban areas that they overlook those people who really need their attention. And that should
I guess I will continue. Viewing higher education as important for indigent people would subsequently help to minimize poverty. Although poverty is described as a state of being extremely poor, these people are often raised with also poor mentality, and by achieving higher education, they have the chance to break free from has a high possibility to develop a poor mentality that greatly impacts your behavior towards achieving your goal and success. For instance, poor mentality family would opt to think that they could not afford to provide higher education for their child. Meanwhile, the rich mentality would think of ways to make higher education accessible for their children. I guess
so after this discussion, we have realized that the benefits of pursuing higher education outweighs the consequences. So our stance is we agree with this motion of higher education should always comes first for indigent people. Thank you.
Thank you all speakers. We shall now proceed to the questions.
So the question is, education not only provides the skills and experiences that are required in competitive labor market, but also prepares individuals for decision making and social behaviors. The need for education not only helps to reduce poverty by improving living standards and incomes, but also helps to reduce social issues such as crime and corruption. State your opinion about this. I repeat, education not only provides the skills and experiences that are required in competitive labor market, but also prepares individuals for decision making and social behaviors. The need for education not only helps to reduce poverty by improving living standards and incomes, but also helps to reduce social issues such as crime and corruption. State your opinion about this. Your 1 minute start now.
Okay, speakers, your 1 minute time is up. Okay. You should now answer the question.
Who wants to answer? Okay. So
hi, okay, so I will answer the question. So, sorry, who will answer the question? Okay,
Mariam will answer the question.
We do, okay, let me talk. Okay, we do think that by pursuing higher education, it does not only help to improve someone's life financially, but it could help to contribute to lessen the amount of crimes in this country. Because through education, we are educating the children to act the right way or appropriately in this country. Also, for instance, there is some countries that teach their children about sex education, and it helps a lot with the HIV cases, with the rape cases. So these are just one example for about how higher education could help to prevent social issues. Anyone wants to add?
Okay, so I will add. So higher education also meaning when you go to a university, for example, you are exposed to a different of situations, meaning you are exposed to working out with friends. So that makes you like easily to adapt to a different situations, even in a stressful situation. So that overall impacts your behavior as well. Thank you.
I thank the representative of indigenous people to conclude the discussion. We have now come to the end of the discussion platform inter-house competition of KYS Business School. On behalf of the house, I thank the judges and the timekeeper for their assistance. I congratulate all the speakers on their best performance, and I thank all the members of the floor for their attentiveness. All members are allowed to leave the meeting. Thank you. This house will come to order. I am pleased to welcome all of you to the first discussion platform inter-house competition organized by the Debate Society of KYS Business School. The resolution before us today is this house belief that higher education should always come first. Representing the entrepreneurs is House of May. Before we go further, I would like all the speakers to briefly introduce themselves to the members of the floor.
Hello. Assalamualaikum. My name is Lokman Kuzeri and you can call me Luke. All the best, Water.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Wana Fatiha and you can call me Fatiha, and I look forward to this discussion. Thank you.
So hello guys and Assalamualaikum. So my name is Mia Danisha and let's do our best.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening everyone. My name is Muhammad Hazim and I'm very glad to join this discussion platform. Good luck.
I thank all the speakers for their remarks. On behalf of the House, I extend a special welcome to our judges, Ms. Nur Anim binti Muhammad Sani, the advisor of the Debate Society of KYS Business School, Mr. Muhammad Azwa bin Abdullah, panelists of Forum Merdeka organized by Perkimat and Forum Intellectual organized by IKROC, and for the final judge, Mr. Muhammad Ashraf Haikal, a former debater of MRSM Merbok and currently pursuing his studies in Russia. I, Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Mustafa, and my partner, Atikur Rahman bin Rosli, and Afif Lutfi bin Mat Asroy will be your moderators tonight. And to keep the time, will be the ever-alert timekeeper, Alia Batrisha binti Abu Bakar As-Siddiq. Ladies and gentlemen, member of the House, before we dive further into the substantive speeches, allow me to brief everyone present on the rules and guidelines on the course of the discussion. There will be 2 sessions for the speakers. The first one is the discussion session. In this session, speakers will be given 10 minutes to discuss about the issue. The second one is the Q&A session. In this session, speakers will be given a question from the moderators. They have 1 minute preparation time to discuss among the speakers and 3 minutes to answer the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I call this House to order. To present the case in today's motion, this House believes that higher education should always come first. I call upon the representative of entrepreneur to open the case. The floor is yours.
Hello and good day everyone. First of all, I would like to thank all participants for joining What is Entrepreneurship seminar today, organized by Water Limited, sharing the secret behind the success of our company. And I hope this event would help all of you to build your own empire one day in future. To begin with, Water Limited started at 2010 with just one product, which is our very first Bitter Leaves moisturizer. But unfortunately, it was unknown in the public. Almost none knew about our product's existence. But we put a lot of effort, our blood, sweat, and tears to advertise our product. I think our product started becoming more popular after we launched an Instagram account and Facebook page. But even before that, there's a whole story about our company. Before I continue, if any of you would like to ask any questions, you may disrupt this session as we want to have a two-way communication with all of you. So please ask if you have any curiosity.
I do have a question. What is your qualification?
Thank you for your question. To answer your question, I am proud to say I am just a high school graduate, and I think I should not be embarrassed to say so, as I think anyone can be successful in life if you are hardworking.
I'm sorry, Miss, but I do not agree with your statement because I think higher education is an important element that people look for in an entrepreneur. Like, it's hard for me to believe someone that have no qualification to talk about entrepreneurship like in this seminar because you do not have a proper education on how to manage a business or how to do a marketing strategies and so on. Like a qualification at the degree level, for instance, like it will convene us to attend your seminar today because we are confident that all the information given are true and accurate because the speaker is someone who is educated and skilled in this field. But hearing that you have no education qualifications, no offense, but it makes me doubt all the knowledge that you will give in the session.
I agree with you, Mia.
Right. Like not only this, like if you do not have an educational qualification, how do people want to believe in your product you're selling? Like you're selling skincare product, but you do not have a science base. Don't you think that's weird?
But if you say so, then why are you here, Miss Mia?
Yes, actually, imagine it, Hazim. If I have no qualifications and only attend to talk like this or seminar like this, when I sell or produce a product at a corporate level, they will be questioning about my level of education, even though I am proficient in the business skill. Like if I have the qualification, they probably won't hesitate to do business with me. So I attend today's seminar because it's for an additional input for me to sharpen up my business school. But like macam like the my business school and then but I still need education. I'm sorry, I'm babbling. But I still need education to sharpen up my skill because they teach us how to properly manage a business. So like to all the participants, are you guys positive with all the business skills she will teach us today, even though she only had an education until high school, can make us become a successful entrepreneur?
I am actually very positive with the entrepreneur today, which is Miss Fatiha. I'm so sorry, Miss Mia, but I am totally disagree with your points.
No, I'm talking about the fact.
Do you know that there are no systemic policies? There is no. Let me speak first, Miss Mia. There is no systemic qualification to be an entrepreneur. Unlike doctors and engineers, they need to have their own degree or any bachelor in their respective fields for them to continue to their jobs. We are talking about entrepreneurs. By definition, entrepreneurs are someone who is innovative enough and creative enough to make profit. So they don't need to have a higher education. And so as long as you are able to make profit, having no higher education doesn't stop you from being a great entrepreneur. So instead of having any academic reliance or having any higher education, entrepreneurs should instead focus on sharpening their skills. You know, like sharpening their marketing skills and how to get suppliers and distributors. That is what entrepreneurs should focus more on. Let me give you a real life example. A very easy one. I believe every one of you have heard the name Alif Shukri.
Yes, the D-Herbs founder.
He is the founder of the D-Herbs. He doesn't even have any high school qualification, but right now he already has a multi-million ringgit company. Don't you think that is amazing? Okay, if you still don't believe me, if this doesn't change your mind yet, let me tell you about Vivi Yusof. We all know that Vivi Yusof studied law in her university life, but instead now she has become a great entrepreneur, and she is now the icon of UiTM. So having a higher education doesn't make you a great entrepreneur. And another thing that I want to mention is that nowadays higher education is quite pricey. So I'll say it is a waste of skills for someone who have a talent to do entrepreneurs, to do business, but they don't have money to continue their study into higher education. So it's a waste of skills. So it is very unfair for us to say that higher education should come first in the world of entrepreneurship, where higher education is not given fairly to everyone. That is what I'm talking about. Do you have any disagreement?
Yes, absolutely yes. Let me clarify it to you, okay? You say just now, Vivi Yusuf, Alif Shukri, is not a comparable situation, guys. Let's make things clear out, okay? Yourself doesn't have enough skills, and you want to enter a marketplace, and then you want to compare yourself with Alif Shukri. Alif Shukri have many years of experiences, and we are talking about right now, the current situation. You should be thinking about how are you going to be to survive in marketplace if you doesn't have any skills. Okay, one thing to be sure is that if you think you can survive, you actually depend on someone else. You think, okay, I can try my luck, I can try an error, or going to seminar like this. I mean, you are depending yourself on someone else. You are not having faith on yourself. You're having your trust on someone else. You get
Yes, I agree with that.
No.
So basically, if you put your trust on someone else who doesn't believe in yourself, then someone else can misuse you. They can take advantage over yourself. You probably can get scammed. Nowadays, it's a typical thing to know when you are not skilled enough, you incompetent, then you probably can get misused. And at the end of the day, you may get depressed. And to compare with higher education, it's more secure. You have the materials, you have the lecturers. And on top of that, you get the clear framework. You have some guidance that are very reliable. Also, I agree with Mia. They say that we need to have the qualification, you get the certificates, so that you can earn trust. It's a turnover, you know, when you can get you can get trust of others instead of you giving your trust to others. It's like you are the role model right now after you have the qualification. So better, to be safer, you just choose the education first, get the skills that are very reliable enough, and to say the chances of being successful after you have studied enough in the higher education is more highly achievable instead of you starting your own business at early age. Come on, guys, this is a true reality things. And you cannot simply think it's a simple task or game. All right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay,
nice.
Hear me. However, compare a 15-year-old boy with no higher education, but he started first. But if you compare with the maybe 28-years-old man who have a higher education, but he started late, I'll say the 15-years-old boy will win in the race. You know, because he got more experience. Okay, you can say that university does allow them to do a real market, but that's not it. That's not enough for them to be good entrepreneur, isn't it, Miss Fatiha?
Yes, of course.
Actually, you doesn't have the exact qualification, you know. You cannot simply label someone, oh, he has a lot of experience, so he is a very professional. It's not that simple. You actually need to consider more factors, not just experience, your knowledge, not just your skill, your personality.
Yes, knowledge is the most important thing.
If you want to be, wait. That's one more thing. Okay, fine. Okay, if you want to be an entrepreneur, be a leader, and leader is itself can be learned it's okay in education. That's all.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you to the participants who gave your opinions. I respect your opinions, but and I think there is no wrong or right. However, in my opinion, those qualifications are not necessarily important for entrepreneurs. All we need are passion, passions, and skills. If we do not have those, we, Water Limited, might not be where we are now. We started small, but with our efforts and sacrifices, we made it to be here in front of all of the participants, sharing our experiences so we could see more youngsters could chase their dreams. I agree that education is important, but in this case, we did not get any of our skills through degree qualifications, but it was because of our experiences and the hardships we went through. There are no specific qualifications to become an entrepreneur. Education in entrepreneurship may teach us how to manage a business properly, but to succeed, the person needs to have the skills to attract customers in promoting the products sold and the passion doing the business. A degree in business or entrepreneurship does not teach us how to get good suppliers, how to be innovative, or how to get ideas, but it is based on our experiences. There are entrepreneurs who studied law or engineering but ended up being entrepreneurs, building huge companies and known worldwide. We entrepreneurs are developing our skills as we continue being in this industry. As Mr. Hazim said, there are entrepreneurs even in our country, like Dato' Alif Shukri, who did not went to a university, but now he owns a multi-million ringgit huge company. There are a lot of people succeed in this industry and currently contributing to the Malaysia's economic growth and making paths to the international stage. Therefore, I still think that higher education is not compulsory to being successful entrepreneurs. We entrepreneurs are gaining new knowledge and developing our self-growth in our everyday life as we continue being entrepreneurs. The key is to never give up and put all effort into what you do. And please have faith in yourself. Trust yourself, you can do this. And I think all of you should come again to my seminar so I could prove it to you how far I'll go, and let's see where all of you will be too.
All right, I think you are right. I'm wrong, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I think I changed my opinion. Thank you, Ms. Fatiha, and I hope I can I can learn a lot from you for the business school.
Thank you.
Sorry for the beginning.
Thank you for listening and for all your opinions. And therefore, Water disagrees that higher education, it should not come first in the point of view of entrepreneurs. And with that, thank you. We are done.
Okay, thank you all the speakers. We shall now proceed to the questions.
The question is, Industrial Revolution 4.0 has introduced a new pathway of commencing entrepreneurship. In what sense does this issue related to higher education? I repeat, Industrial Revolution 4.0 has introduced a new pathway of commencing entrepreneurship. In what sense does this issue related to higher education? Your 1 minute starts from now.
With the help of social media or online business, we actually can leverage the use of industrial revolution. Okay, so during this lockdown, we have seen a lot. Okay, about the exposure of using online businesses. So industrial revolution is kind of helping enough to the business and entrepreneurs of doing things so efficiently and save more time. Right, guys?
Yes.
Yes, true.
I hope the answer, I hope it is answering your question. Thank you.
All right, I thank the representative of entrepreneurs to conclude the discussion. We have now come to the end of the discussion platform interhouse competition of KYS Business School. On behalf of the house, I thank the judges and the timekeeper for the assistance. I congratulate all the speakers on their best performance, and I thank the members of the floor for their attentiveness. All members are allowed to leave the meeting. Thank you.